So here's the story everyone's been whispering about. The wedding bells didn't just ring, they rang for two of the biggest stars in Asia. Wang Yibo and Zhan'S. Yes, you heard that right. The names that once lived side by side only in dramas, fanfiction, and the hopeful hearts of millions of fans, now tied together in whispers of a secret ceremony. And this isn't just another rumor. This feels different. This feels real. It all started quietly. No press conferences. No public announcements. Just subtle clues that kept piling up until fans could no longer look away. Because love like this doesn't always need a spotlight. Sometimes it only needs two people, standing across from each other, choosing forever in silence. Imagine it. A small, private venue. White flowers, soft music, nothing extravagant. Nothing that screamed celebrity. Because Wang Yibo and Zhan'S have never needed grand gestures. Their story was never about extravagance, it was about sincerity. Fans have long said that if the two ever did get married, it wouldn't be a spectacle. It would be something intimate, something real, something theirs. And from what has been pieced together, that's exactly what happened. The whispers first surfaced when both of them went off radar at the same time. Schedules suddenly cleared. Social media posts went quiet. Appearances became scarce. For regular celebrities, that might have gone unnoticed. But for Yibo and Zhan'S, two of the most followed stars in Asia, every silence is suspicious. And then the photos emerged. Not paparazzi shots. Not staged fan service. Just blurry, almost tender images that seemed too personal to be fake. One photo showed them walking side by side in what looked like a garden, dressed simply, but with the unmistakable presence of something formal. Another captured Zhan'S holding what fans swore looked like a bouquet, while Yibo stood just close enough for his hand to brush against his. And then, the one that sent the internet into chaos. A single picture of the two of them facing each other, with something white and delicate falling in the background. Some said it was flower petals. Others swore it was confetti. But one thing was clear. It looked like a wedding. Of course, at first, people doubted it. After all, the entertainment world is built on illusions. Photos can be edited. Stories can be fabricated. But then came the testimonies. A staff member, who insisted on remaining anonymous, claimed to have attended a very private event where the two exchanged vows. No cameras. No journalists. Just close friends, family, and a circle of trust so tight it almost seemed impossible that word got out. Yet somehow it did. And that's where it gets beautiful. Because the details that leaked weren't about luxury or extravagance. They weren't about designer suits or diamond rings. They were about love. People whispered that Zhan'S cried while reading his vows. That Wang Yibo, usually stoic and reserved, couldn't stop smiling through the whole ceremony. That their hands never once let go, not during the vows, not during the exchange of rings, not even when applause filled the air. It wasn't the grand gestures that made it unforgettable. It was the small things. The way Yibo reportedly brushed away a tear from Zhan'S' cheek. The way Zhan'S held his hand tighter every time his voice trembled. Moments so simple and yet so powerful that those who were there said it felt like watching a scene too sacred to belong to the public. And yet, here we are. The whispers escaped. The photos surfaced. The internet caught fire. Fans across the globe are split between disbelief and awe. Some can't believe it's true. Others are convinced this is the confirmation they've been waiting for all along. But maybe that's the magic of it. Because isn't love meant to be unbelievable? Now let's step back for a moment. For years, the chemistry between Wang Yibo and Zhan'S has been the subject of endless speculation. Since their unforgettable drama together, their connection seemed to transcend the screen. But they always kept it private, always professional, always hidden beneath the layers of fame, expectations, and the weight of millions of eyes watching their every move. And yet, through it all, fans noticed the details. The stolen glances, the unspoken smiles, the way their names seemed to orbit each other even when projects pulled them apart. It was never loud, but it was always there. So should we really be surprised that if they were to marry, it would happen in silence? In secrecy? In the comfort of a small gathering where love didn't need to be performed, it only needed to be lived? Think about it. The entertainment world thrives on publicity. Grand weddings, red carpet displays, headlines splashed across every screen. But what do you do when your love is bigger than the spotlight? You protect it. And that's exactly what Wang Yibo and Zhan did. They didn't sell the story to the press. They didn't stage a performance for the cameras. They simply vowed themselves to each other, quietly, purely, truthfully. And maybe that's what makes this revelation so powerful. Because love stories in the spotlight often crumble under the weight of expectation. But this feels like it was built to last. A secret ceremony, away from the noise, where two people chose each other not because the world wanted them to, but because they wanted to. The internet is now flooded with fan reactions. Some are in tears, overwhelmed by the thought that their favorite stars may have finally found their happily ever after. Others are skeptical, questioning whether the rumors are true or simply another wave of hopeful imagination. But no matter where you stand, one thing is undeniable. The idea of Wang Yibo and Zhan choosing forever together is enough to move hearts around the world. Because it's not just about celebrities. It's about love. Love that defies distance. Love that survives scrutiny. Love that finds a way, even in the harshest of spotlights. And so, whether you believe the whispers or not, the image is there now. Two men, standing in front of each other, with vows that only they could write. With rings that symbolized not wealth, but promise. With hands that never once let go. The wedding bells rang. Even if softly, even if secretly, even if only for them. But in that ringing, the world heard something. A reminder that love doesn't always need permission. It only needs courage. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real story. That's what makes this more than a rumor. Because whether the ceremony happened exactly as described or not, the truth remains, Wang Yibo and Zhan's bond has always been undeniable. And love like that? It doesn't stay hidden forever. So when the wedding bells rang, it wasn't just for them. It was for every fan who believed in their story. It was for every moment they shared that felt too genuine to be scripted. It was for the quiet, persistent truth that somehow, against all odds, love found its way. The wedding bells rang. And the world will never forget it.